From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell. U.S. President Donald Trump's order to implement 25% tariffs on Canadian imports and 10% on energy is still on schedule. Trump was asked for an update at a cabinet meeting today, and if he planned to impose the tariffs on Canada and Mexico March 4th, he said he would start in April.
I was going to do it on April 1st, but I'm a little bit superstitious, so I made it April 2nd. The tariffs go on, not all of them, but a lot of them. And I think you're going to see something that's going to be amazing.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said Canada and Mexico still have to negotiate for leniency of the levies to prove to the president that they've satisfied security demands at the borders, limiting incoming fentanyl and migrants. However, Trump said he would be hard to convince. New polling is suggesting Canadians are thinking differently when it comes to who they may vote for in the next federal election. The latest survey from Ipsos says if an election were held today, 38% of Canadians would support the Liberal Party, while 36% would back the Conservatives. The poll puts the Liberals in the lead for the first time in nearly 4 years, a shift from just 6 weeks ago when the Conservatives had a 26-point lead. Leger's latest survey says the Conservatives still have a 3-point lead over the Liberals, but shows that gap is narrowing. Ontario's political party leaders made their final pitches to voters today, a day before the province heads to the polls. Progressive Conservative leader Doug Ford is looking to secure a third consecutive majority government and seemed confident at a stop just outside of Windsor, Ontario today. Ford said a majority win would send a message to the U.S. rejecting tariff and annexation threats from President Donald Trump. Meanwhile, the Liberals' Bonnie Crombie says she feels momentum on her side as the election is less than 24 hours away. She says she's looking forward to tomorrow night.
Well, tomorrow I look forward to a great win. That's what we're here for. We play to win. And that's what I'm quite sure we're going to do.
The former mayor of Mississauga wouldn't say whether she would make a run for the federal Liberals if she doesn't become Ontario's next premier. First Nations chiefs in Ontario voted overwhelmingly today in favor of a child welfare reform deal with the federal government. The Ontario-specific deal to allow First Nations to take control of child welfare was supported by 76 chiefs in Assembly, with 4 objections and 3 abstentions. Ontario Regional Chief Abram Benedict said the decision will allow First Nations to end discrimination in their communities and offer better support to families. A national $47.8 billion deal proposed by the federal government to reform the system was voted down last year, with chiefs saying it didn't go far enough on eliminating discrimination. And the Supreme Court of Canada said goodbye to more than 45,000 subscribers as it moved off the social media platform X. In a farewell post today, the top court said it will focus its communication efforts on other platforms. A spokesperson said the court would concentrate on platforms that best serve the public within its limited resources. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Ottawa Senators look to ground the NHL-leading Winnipeg Jets when the teams meet tonight at Ottawa's Canadian Tire Centre. Also tonight, the Vancouver Canucks will visit the Los Angeles Kings. In the NBA, Toronto Raptors set to play their second game in as many nights as they visit the Indiana Pacers. The Raptors are coming off a 111-101 loss to defending champion Boston last night that ended a 1-3 homestand. The Pacers enter the contest a half game ahead of Milwaukee for 4th place in the Eastern Conference. The Philadelphia Phillies scored 5 runs in the 6th inning and handed the Toronto Blue Jays their first loss of spring training in a 9-6 victory today in Dunedin, Florida. And Canadian men's soccer coach and former U.S. national player Jesse Marsh says Donald Trump should stop referring to Canada as the 51st state. Marsh said at a press conference ahead of next month's CONCACAF Nations League final that the U.S. president's repeated suggestion is, quote, ridiculous rhetoric. From the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.